Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Kip Gaming, the show where if you subscribe to me, your penis will grow a extra few inches for the men, and for the ladies who are watching, your penis will grow an extra few inches. So, today I'm just gonna play Drawkill'd because I'm on a bad fan game kick, and I just have vivid memories of this game being just alright. Actually, I don't have vivid memories of this game at all, because well, I've never seen anyone play it. I've seen like screenshots, but never an actual full playthrough. But anyway, she's just complaining about how it's so cold, like a little twat. Then note, you have 4 days to live, poggers. But yeah, it's basically just like a code. Uh, for this game, since it's not a lot of like substance, there's not a whole lot going on constantly. I'm gonna treat this more of like a blank slate type game. Also, that was ear-piercingly loud. Because I want to use this game to just like go off on tangents and kind of like get to, I don't know, build my character, because I've never gotten to really do that on my channel. Most of the time when I've been recording, it's just been in the middle of something else. So, never had a chance to like really introduce myself. I need to turn on this game volume, I'm sorry. So, I remember for this game, there's like this really weird song that I heard, and I'm not sure if anyone else remembers it, but all I know is that I remember it very vividly. Uh, it sounds like burping the whole time. I don't know, it's like a really funky song, and not in like a great way. And yeah, this game looks like it was made in Source. Like, okay, I bet you all the rendering for this game was done in Gmod. I cannot talk today. Like, I mean, it's Gmod textures. It's all Half-Life 2 textures. And all of, like, the positioning looks like it was done in Gmod. Not to say that it's bad, even though that's actually exactly what I mean, and it's not good. It looks like it was just done with, like, a fizz gun. Maybe a joint tool, but I'm not entirely sure. It's honestly just kind of crazy how, yeah, like, look at this. This looks, like, very Gmod-esque. Especially because, you know, the textures being Gmod. It's just kind of crazy to me that Gmod can be so versatile. Like, you can use it to make funny little machinimas, horror games, horror series, uh, entire, like, stories, you know? It's just, like, really a blank slate game. That's what I appreciate most about Sandbox, all the stuff you can do with it. I always appreciate stuff like that, you know? Uh, letting people that without much skill in anything, like, actually get to express themselves is, like, I love that. Because, like, most of my life I've had, like ideas for stories and stuff. Like, for example, CSA, I've had that idea for, like, probably 7 years now or so. And I've never gotten to, like, express it because I just did not have the artistic talent. Or, like, game developing talent. But yeah, I've gotten a lot better with drawing recently, and I've decided to switch it over to analog web series, which is proving well, you know? I've been getting it. I've been getting through it. The only roadblock I've had is editing so far. But I'm getting gradually better with that. I have a friend, I love the dude, his name is Moz, and he's been doing all the editing for me. And, like, man, I do not know how he keeps up with me sometimes. But, yeah, he's just been really loyal. It's been good working with him. Also on his series, I've voiced a few characters of his series. Uh, which most people, that when I tell them, like, that I describe the voices that I do, they will give me funny looks, because most of them are, young women. Either young adult women, or just, like, young women, like, Heidi Hayes is a, like, German rabbit that sounds like 7. And I love voicing her. It's really fun. I've done a lot of, like, memes with that. But yeah, it's just weird to see people's reactions. Like, there's this real life friend group that I have, and when I show them, like, an audio of me, like, just fooling around in that voice, you know, committing some tomfoolery, their initial reaction was just like very startled. I think they yelled, not at me, but like just out of surprise. Um, yeah, okay, so boom. So if I'm correct, okay, yeah, that's closed. Anyway, so as I was saying, it's different when people know you in real life, you know, because in real life, like they have your face, which is that's the biggie. Because like you guys don't know my face, so it wouldn't be like that surprising to you or anything. Just like my face in contrast to all of my characters is very strange and jarring, so I can get how they'd be more surprised. And also they've just straight up known me for longer, so they've gone to used to my relatively deep monotone voice, and then they just hear me like this little German hair, and it's just jarring, you know. Take that, liberals. I would like to make a public service announcement. Kip Gaming is not conservative or right or left or liberal. It is entirely neutral to political beliefs, and I think that ruins shows. But Kip Gaming, it will make fun of literally everyone all the time, but no hard feelings for any political beliefs. Everyone is welcome here. We will not discriminate against you. But we do make jokes about liberals a lot that are usually saturating, like the whole, like calling people libtards and such. That's just an inside joke. Like there's this one Godzilla movie, Godzilla versus Megalon, where Jet Jaguar holds up Megalon and Godzilla, they just like hooked up the suit like a wire, put him entirely horizontal, just slid him across, and they called it a kick. And I got a gif of just him sliding and put the caption, take that, liberals. And yeah, that's the joke now. Uh, Someone will do literally anything in any media and just take that, liberals. It's a relatively good joke. It's lasting. It's not dead yet, and no one screams at you for telling it, which is, you know, what you like to see in a joke. Okay, I thought I ran out of power, so yeah, so yeah. Crap, what was I talking about? I gotta take that, liberals. What was I talking about before that? I'm blanking on everything. So yeah. Uh, Voice acting, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, voice acting is just like a lot of fun. I wouldn't call it like, I wouldn't say that it's like the most fun job to have, but it is certainly neat. It's very interesting to figure out how high or low you can get with your voices, how diverse you can get and such. I don't know, it's just like a lot of fun to experiment with my voice, because, yeah, most of the voices that like I said, most of the characters that I voice have a high contrast to, like, me as a person. It's like people might, like, look at, for example, when I was a series Outsourced, you see that I'm like Sophie and Heidi, and they'll think, like, oh, this, this person that voices Sophie is probably like a relatively, like, young woman, like, you know, probably like really cutesy in real life. Nope, nope, I do not sound like that at all. That's, yeah, I just like surprising people with that, you know? Because for my series, CSA, in the second episode, Logs, I voice this character named Ruby Settles, and she's this like super perky, like kind of 23-year-old. And like when I was voicing her, the best thing ever, I asked one of my real life friends what their favorite part of the video was, and they said it was Ruby's part. And I said, oh yeah, that's me. And once again, like, I've never seen a person like that surprised at me just telling them a hobby that I have. Also, it's static. Oh, okay, so it's gonna want me to do like a night section of like getting out of here. Okay, this is sort of neat, I guess. I don't know, I've never seen something like this done in a 8-bit style, which is really its only redeeming quality. The shoes and the gray tiles are the same color. That could be changed. I say could be changed, like this game wasn't released 5 years ago and never patched. All I mean is that, I don't know, that's not ideal. And I would like to state that I have no clue where I'm going. That was a waste of time and energy. So yeah, I definitely recommend getting into voice acting. If there's any voices that you think you could be good at, like, go ahead, man. Of course, you'll always think that you're doing, like, amazing at the time. And of course, you'll always look back at your old roles and probably weep. I know that I sure have. With my original voices strings in Many Moons. God, I want to redub over that. Because I just dislike it, personally. And I'm excited to eventually redub that. That's a part of my plan. Probably, realistically, just remake that whole video. Because that video has aged. That was my first ever time writing and voice acting a video. Also producing it, in terms of visuals. So, I'd gladly take the opportunity to, change it. Since, embarrassingly enough, the story for CSA has changed a decent bit. I can't tell you where, for obvious reasons, or reasons that are hopefully obvious, but I don't know, it's not my proudest thing. I like the idea, I just could have been executed a bit better. And since I've also changed the strings design, I need to update it, because now he's using his old design in that tape. And people will, like, maybe think that that's, like, an older design of strings, or that they're two different characters. And I desperately do not want that, because strings also appears in logs. So, I want to clear that up in case anyone has any misconceptions. Because my worst thing is retconning unannounced. That's, like, my least favorite thing. That's one of the things I don't like about, the actual FNAF games. Because, they'll just retcon themselves so many times, entirely unannounced, no sign that they're gonna do it, they just do it. And the community's just so used to it at this point, they don't even care. Which should be a sign for Scott, but it is not. He's not had the wake-up call yet that, hey, maybe I should, like say that I'm retconning. Huh. But, I don't know, I don't fault the man. He probably had plans that just fell through. I know that I've had my fair share of projects that I think about, and I'm like, ah, that'll be really cool. I'm so excited to start this. And then I don't. Uh, Here's a little Kip Gaming exclusive hint, like, I guess, teaser for CSA. After CSA 3, I'm going to make a trailer for the next episode, which will be a lot bigger than all the, probably, like, bigger than all the previous episodes combined, and then times two. It'll be a big video, similar to that of the Walton Files company introductory tape. At least that's the goal. I want to get it up to there. But, I'm not very picky. I don't mind if it's, like, under that runtime. I just want to have it be presentable, you know? And that trailer that I was talking about, I'm actually... Oh, crap, what was I gonna say? The trailer is going to be more of like a music video animatic to, God, I forgot the song name. It's from Miracle Musical, Hawaii Part 2. Oh yeah, Introduction to the Snow. It's gonna be to that, because it works way too well, but you'll see that later. I'm very excited to start animating that. That'll be very cool. But before I do that, I do have to redesign 3 more characters, haha. I've started redesigning Bonsai, I gotta get to Lulu Terry and someone else. I'm not allowed to disclose that yet, but you'll see, you'll see. Yeah, my hopes are, well, just for it to build hype, because the song is itself, Introduction to the Snow, fits so well for what I'm doing here and what, like, the purpose that this will serve. It won't be like an in-universe tape that Roxanne finds, but it will be a tape. Well, not a tape. It will not have a VHS overlay. Well, it might, but I don't know yet. But it will just be building up hype, outside of the universe. That startled me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I think I took Drawkill'd for granted. I have never been startled that much while playing a FNAF game. The only time that I've been startled any form of to compare is this one time I was playing FNAF 6, which is one of the scariest FNAF games in my opinion. Uh, which somehow taps into thalassophobia a little bit. I don't know. But the whole thing is just, I was looking really closely at the monitor and I was trying to see where Molten Freddy was because that was just one of his nights and he just wasn't appearing. And so I was just looking very closely at the screen. My face was probably just inches away. And then he jump scared me and I jumped a few feet. I don't know, it's one of the most I've been scared in a FNAF game. Now I've been scared more in other games. Subnautica, good prime example. Subnautica I just have a whole ton of respect for. It is horror done right. It's more terror, but there's better videos to watch about that. From the Checkpoints show, I believe. Yeah, I think Checkpoints. There's a bunch of videos about differentiating horror from terror, and I much prefer terror. Have you ever wondered why I don't like Mean Bear? And yeah, I don't want to bag on other VHS creators too much. Mean Bear has an interesting visual style, it doesn't use it very well. Only jump scares, that's not his strong suit, in my opinion. There should be more than just jump scares. He insists that there's some kind of canon, but I'm not seeing any. Wait. I just see random jump scares that follow the same exact plot as FNAF. I don't know, the most lore you can make out of it, in my opinion, is that, crap, what was I gonna say? Is that, Bonnie attacked a kid that one time. You all know what I'm talking about, right? It's a Wizard Bonnie tape. It's just on the parts and service door, most of it, and then there's there's a kid in front of the doorway, and then Bonnie right behind him. So that's the most lore that I've been able to decipher from the series. Just myself. There's probably people that have divin deep into it. Who knows? Maybe I'm stupid in this situation. I'm not picking up the subtle subtext about the horrors of capitalism. But that could just be me. I'm very critical, if you can't tell. I point out the smallest errors in most things. Yeah, okay, this game's visual style looks relatively cheap, but I don't know, it has sort of that vibe to it, It's sort of a mood. I like it. I like this visual style. Gmod is a very interesting challenge to work with, and it just now occurs to me that there is a map out there that is just this game. It is an exact map of this game, and that sounds dope. I wonder if he's ever released that. Or maybe he's weird and made it in Half-Life 2, I don't know. Because, if I remember right, 5 years ago was 2016? I'm using all two of my brain cells here. Yeah, I think it was 2016. I'm just gonna say it's 2016. Yeah, 2016. 2016, Gmod was relatively popular then, so it's not unfeasible for this to be because of a trend. Because this is a very neat spin on visuals. Because normally the visuals are either way too much bloom or just FNAF 1, but again, where you got the occasion candies, which I appreciate candies for so many different reasons. One of the reasons I don't like candies, in my opinion, is just the reverse puppet of Vinny. I don't like his design. I get that his design was made in like 2014, so you don't, that's like the peak of FNAF OC design at that point. But that doesn't mean I don't like it. That doesn't mean that it's free from my book. I just think that it does not hold up. At the time it was good, but that's because it was 2014. People do not have their standards high. I think that a design more similar to Nightmare Vinny, no, not Nightmare, Monster Vinny would have been cool. A more unique spin on like the whole marionette design. Because you see marionettes done all the time. And I always like it when there's a neat spin on it. Like, for example, Henry from Harmony and Horror. That's a cool spin on it. Uh, Sophia, I don't like Sophia's design. I'm just going to be brutally honest. I do not like Sophia. I do not like anything she stands for. She's politically incorrect. Screw Sophia. All my homies hate Sophia. It's just the jaw. Jaw. That's the thing that gets me. Is Sophia's jaw. It is too weird. Like, there's no feasible way that anyone could ever see that as a children's mascot. That's been a big problem with some FNAF fan games. Either the character designs are too cute and seem too much like children's mascots, or they're like too freaky looking, I guess. Not like freaky looking as in like, oh, I'm peeing myself so much. Scary as in like big sharp teeth, you know? CSA, I'm trying to hit like that middle point. You'll see that with the new bonsai design. I did actually post a teaser in the CSU server today, which is my Discord server. I'm very active in the channels, so if you want to hang out with me, go in there. Anyway, in there, I posted that's where I post all the teasers for CSA. I should probably post them on, I should definitely post them on Twitter more, but I don't. And that's on me. That is entirely on me. I take the blame for that. Also, they misspell entrance. I only just now noticed that. I notice misspellings a lot. You'd I'm a spelling stickler. Except I get a lot of spelling wrong a lot of the time. Which is weird because I made it to a regional spelling bee once. That was terrifying. I had to tell you guys the word that I lost on, but like I'm worried that I'd like get doxxed or something. People would figure out my identity. So I'm not gonna just tell you. I'm not gonna tell you because I know it's crazy on the internet, but like I like my privacy. Uh, I enjoy not being doxxed 24/7. Bonkers. I know. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'll give this game one thing. It is like, somehow the ambience in this game is, like, really good. And it's so silent that, like, when you get to the jump scares, like, oh my god. This game kind of knows what it's doing. I like that. This game knows what's up. It's working with the limited graphical style a lot. The jump scare noise and animation really helps for that. Now, if I'm correct, the animation was barely an animation at all. I think it was just like a still image, but like a lot of camera shake. If I'm correct, if I remember right. Which I have the memory of like a dead guinea pig, so do not rely on me for memory. But I think it was like a still image of Freddy with his like arms open, and yeah, that. But there's enough camera shake to give like the illusion of motion. So a plus for respect there, I guess. Now, I'm probably gonna get trolled. I'm now kind of paranoid about Freddy, because, I did not think that he'd attack me last time when he did. I was entirely incorrect in that statement. So, whoops. I'm just gonna kind of play it safe. It's almost 5. I mean, it's almost 6. So, yeah, these notes. Trying to close the door again. So yeah, we're just gonna chill here. Foxy, you little red bastard. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's all of them. Okay, how is this game like a little tense? Well, um, I have a multitude of questions there. Uh, First question, how did she get in my office? Uh, Second question, uh, I did did she go through the vents? Third question, why did they decide to have her animation of her attacking from the side? And fourth question, uh, how did she get into my office? I was just chilling. I had all the doors closed for like a very extended period of time. I opened the vent door for like half a second and then she just kills me. So I don't know if she was just like waiting in the vents or what. But yeah, this game is so far actually a lot more challenging than I thought it would be. Which is only very embarrassing. I was hoping that it was gonna be like last game where I only die sometimes. And even then when I die, it's not scary. It doesn't like startle me. Um, this game is quite the opposite. I will admit it. Drawkill'd developer. I underestimated you. Good job. Man, you are working with your graphical, like, limitations of Gmod and Source, and also, like, just everything. You took those limitations and you ran with it. Like, kudos. Uh, that does not mean that Drawkill'd is entirely free from a critique, though. Dude, don't even think for a second. The name is really weird. Like, not only do they spell it weird, I just don't really like the whole idea of the Drawkill'd animatronics. Of, the whole idea being that, like, oh, they're normal robots, but they kill people. Like, and so far, the game has not it's not told me anything. It's not told me why I'm here. It's not told me how I got here. It doesn't even tell me where I am. It's just, you're and Freddy kill. Which, for the designs, actually is kind of genius. This is a game that does not need plot. This is a game that is relying on just pure gameplay and spooks. Less spooks, more startles. It's not very good at building terror or dread. I think the best FNAF game, just in general, is probably FNAF 4. In terms of building up terror and being actually scary. So it does not compete to that, but also doesn't compete to many of the other FNAF games in terms of terror. But it doesn't need to, because like just that jump scare is enough. It will, and since there's no terror, it actually kind of makes the jump scares more effective. Because, like, I've always had my mind off track because I've been talking to you guys. But any other person playing this game will just be thinking, like, yeah, I got it down. And then you don't. And then you get jump scared, which is jarringly loud compared to the rest of the ambience. So, yeah, Drawkill'd. It's good. Sorry for assuming that this was gonna be bad. The only reason that I assumed that was because of a few snippets of gameplay I saw, and it looked like it had crappy graphics until I learned that it was Gmod, which, still means that it doesn't have great graphics, but, kudos to respect and originality with the graphics. I'd also like to take this time to just kind of, apologize to the dev of, uh, Spring Locked at Fredbear's. Because I was like really, really harsh on the game, like stupidly harsh. I will admit that. I just kind of went all out. I was feeling, well, not only was I tired, I just felt like making fun of something, and the game was very easy to make fun of. But I understand that the game was made in test. It's a test build. It's probably pre-alpha. and I'm pretty sure that's gotten canceled at this point. But I don't know if the developer ever sees this. I just kind of want to give some. I want to do like an in-depth review at some point. Well, by in-depth I mean constructive criticism, but I want to give some right now. I think that the graphics style of the game is pretty good in terms of the lighting engine, but I think that it's held back by the sort of not primitive, but like not great animations. Because like believe me, the lighting is really good. It's just the animations really hold it back. If the animations were better, I would be a lot nicer to the game. Because the first thing you see when you open up the game is the, like, main menu with pretty wonky animations. And that's no fault of the developer. The developer is probably relatively unskilled. And I'm not attacking him for that. Like, I know what that's like to just, not have what's necessary for everything. So, you just do what you can. Mate, respect for even trying that. And I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's just like one dude making this. So even more respect. And the fact that you're able, because I'm pretty sure that the creator's like 15, 14 at most. So the fact that, like, for your age, you are very skilled, my friend. You, like, your coding is yikes sometimes, but man, you built like a relatively functional system. And I'm sure that you have a lot, or at least had a lot more planned before the game got, I'm assuming it's canceled. Or it got canceled. I'm assuming you had a lot more plans that you probably got a bit into. So I wish you luck in the future of game development. And I'd like to say that don't let your game run on one central mechanic. And if it does run on one central mechanic, make sure there's like variations of it. Like, for example, in FNAF 2, the main mechanic is using the flashlight to like look down the hallway and the Freddy mask, but not all the characters use the Freddy mask. You have to like wind up the puppet, check on Foxy down the hallways with the flashlight. Use the flashlight for different reasons for most characters. And I like that, so that way you aren't just doing one thing the whole time. The main problem with Spring Locked is that I could just chill out in the office, occasionally go out to wind the music box, and then go back. I didn't have to do anything else. So I'd say place the music box farther across the map. That would be huge. And make it so that, like, there would be an animatronic in between that, like, you'd have to, for example, maybe like Freddy on the stage, because he never moved. If he was on the stage in between like your office and the music box, there was no other way to get to it but to go through that room. If you had to go through there and like Freddy was patrolling, like moving from side to side, and his eyes were red. His eyes were like red, you can see it across the room. If you had to like maneuver around tables and such to like not get seen by him to get to the music box, that would be dope. That would be such a cool mechanic. It would like give you an actual reason to be out more, because you'd, and also like make the, and with this, make the music box tick down faster, because I could just stay in the office for too long. But people would want to stay outside of the office for longer periods of time to like get through the Freddy room quicker. Well, not quicker, but like have a head start, because you don't want to start getting through it too late because you might run out of time. Like, I imagine it would be very challenging to get through the room. Well, like, not in earlier nights. In earlier nights, it would be relatively easy, just teach you the mechanic of it. Later nights, it would actually be testing you. But I'm just thinking that if there's more of incentive to be out of the office longer, it would be a lot better of a game. And also add stealth mechanics. That is huge. I think that if crouching like made you a lot less visible, and also turning off your flashlight made you a lot less visible, that would add a decent bit of terror to the game. Oh, also, replace the jump scare sound. It's not great. And also, I'd recommend hiring a voice actor for the phone guy. I think that your performance was good, but it could have been better for someone older. That is not insulting your voice acting skills. It is just the fact that you are young, and I'm assuming that you're going for an older voice. So hiring someone who has a naturally older voice would be good. 'Cause I know that people, like, it might seem like scary to put like a casting call out there, but trust me, people will help you a lot more than you think they will. As someone who started a VHS series and already has a voice for like all the characters that haven't even appeared yet, people will take those roles. So yeah, go ahead, man. More power to you. There's a lot of potential in your development since you're already so young and doing stuff like that. Uh, I wish you luck in your game making journey. And I think that that will be it for this episode of Drawkill'd. Well, this episode, Kip Gaming, playing Drawkill'd. I might come back to this game, might not. I was not expecting it to be good, so I came in expecting to be haha, so funny. But then I just kind of got a load of poop in my pants. So I might have to choose a different game. I'm sorry. I will definitely play this off camera, though. I can confirm that, Drawkill'd dev. I can confirm that. This is a good game. This is a good FNAF game. I underestimated it. Uh, but yeah, I'm just gonna play it off camera sometimes, probably while chilling with my friends to, you know, give it less tense atmosphere. I'll give it a few goes. Just respect Drawkill'd dev. I'm gonna switch to another game so that way I can like make fun of it and then later give actual constructive criticism. But yeah, this was Kip Gaming. See you later, crocodile.